Hello, my friend. I wanted to clarify something about truth because many people have written to me to ask about the difference between subjective truth and objective truth that I seem to be making. Well, it's more complex than that, as always, because I think in layered terms. I think that we can approach human experience and human reality from many different angles, and that therefore we need to make sure that things are truthful, correct, and right from each of those angles. And then, if those come together, there is a chance for that to form a picture that is coherent and that is correct. So, what are those layers? Well, first of all, there is the physical layer. So, at the physical level, we have these sciences, the physical sciences that figure out the facts, but only the measurable facts. So far, measurable facts about the truth of this planet and the physical elements that compose it, and also the facts of the wider universe in a physical sense. So, those things we test in this scientifically objective, measurable way. Fine, that's good, that's a given, but that's only the start. In terms of our social reality, truth is defined by power to a very large extent, and that is very wrong, because unlike the way we measure truth at the physical level, that means that the bullies win or the powerful can impose the story. History is told by the winners, remember? So that is something that social sciences are playing a part in changing. It's about figuring out what is really the case in terms of what happens between people. It is also something I am hugely familiar with from my work with couples. So, in a couple, to work out what the truth is in the relationship, you need to go back to the subjective truth of each partner. So, that's the third layer, the subjective truth of an individual. How do they experience things? How do their feelings tell them they are being treated or what is happening? So, when you get both partners to do that in a genuine, honest way, you discover that there are power plays between them, and that if they both are willing to come together and listen to the other's truth, they can come up with a shared narrative, and then we get a social reality. So, in a way, social truth should be derived from an understanding of many individual subjective experiences, but those subjective experiences in themselves are relative. Now, postmodern thought has taken that relativity of personal truth to be the decisive factor in saying that there is no truth and that all truth is subjective or relative, which is, of course, a nonsense, because the truth we know about things remains objectively true regardless of how I feel about it. When it's raining outside, the truth is that it is raining outside. Whether I deny that or I dislike that makes no difference to it. So, fourthly, for me, there is the ideological truth, there is the spiritual truth. Now, that is one that none of us have ever achieved. Many have tried projecting their understandings of the world physically, socially, and personally onto a wider canvas and creating ontological theories. Theories about how being works and what is really the case and what life is for and how we should live and what the meaning of life is and what really matters. Well, it is interesting to take as many theories about that as possible and do rather what we did at the social level of truth, to see if we can find a kind of joint narrative, to see what the common denominators are, and there are quite a few. So finding truth is always multiple and complex, and it's hard work, and it's a dynamic process. You can never just claim to have it. It is a movable feast. But searching for truth, to my mind, is the only thing we should all have in common, because that definitely is where our salvation lies. Instead of fighting with each other over what is right and wrong, we need to collaborate in order to seek what is true and then adjust our lives accordingly. So use your mind, your feelings, your life, and your experience to bring a little more light in this very dark age, a little truth from your understanding. It's always welcome and valuable. Don't let anybody tell you otherwise. Each of our consciousnesses is a part of the light, and we need to listen to each other and receive each other's truth to come to a wider truth together. Take care, my friend. I hope that makes it a little clearer for you.